Hi guys, this is Sydney. So I'm saying hello from Australia. I don't know if I got that Australian accent right. I'm trying for fun. Anyways, I'm here and as you can see, I'm outside. So please be aware of the noise. And I'm just sitting outside this cafe. I cooked myself my first meal in Sydney as I got here like 2 days ago. And then suddenly I felt like I want to get some iced coffee. And then here, everything closed down really early. Like all the cafes are closing at like 1, 2, 3 p.m. Everything's closing down at 6, 5. So I'm adjusting my life to this kind of system right now. And anyways, as I was getting my iced coffee and sitting here just not doing anything and just sipping and then just sitting down. And then all of a sudden, my spirit team came through and I was feeling really called to record a video for something. I don't know what. I don't know what's going to come. And just like before, every single day, every moment, I've been downloading, receiving, consolidating information, connecting with Gaia. And yesterday, Gaia came through very strongly here. And what I tapped into, the area that I'm staying in is very old town. And then all of a sudden, what came through was old money. So this town is kind of like so-called well-to-do by the beach area. I was guided to be here and in this specific house right next to this church that I didn't realize. I only realized yesterday. And I start to suddenly feel like just going into this kind of park area, greenery area where I saw the statue yesterday. The day before yesterday. On the first day I arrived in the morning. So I walked around a lot for the last 2 days, connecting with the sun, the energy of the earth here in this area. And then I was at this kind of greenery area, and I remember taking this photo of a statue. And immediately when I saw the statue from afar, I knew for some reason it was about the war veteran. And then just yesterday, I didn't know, but when I was in this store, the girl who was working there was very kind, and I was getting some socks. And then she shared that it's a national holiday yesterday, and it's called Anzac Day, and it's to kind of commemorate all the war veterans, the Australians who fought for war to keep the peace. And so later that day, I was walking all the way down. Everything was closed very much in the area. And I remember just walking, and then I came across that same kind of park-looking area where the statue was, and I went close to the statue, and it was the war veteran statue. And there was a huge, like, cricket playing field that had been there since like 1800s. And all of a sudden, before knowing this, this tree was kind of calling me. So I went there and put my hands and then connected with them. And usually I do that to clear my energy up. But this time I was bringing all this light from source, and I was lighting all the roots of the trees here. And then just in my mind's eye, visualizing and then connecting all the trees underneath the ground and then to the ocean and entire land of Australia to touch the consciousness of the people here. And ever since I got here, what I noticed was I think there's an election coming I don't know if it's like what kind of election it is, but I kept getting the message every time I turn on YouTube. There's like a commercial that's popping, the Australian commercials here. And then it's about these candidates talking about promoting what they're going to do that's going to be the best for Australian people, and they're promising this and they're going to change this and that. And I've been processing that energy ever since I got here, and what I got was I noticed this ever since I was at the airport in Manila, and I took the Qantas airline, and there's a lot of fear-based programming here that's deeply rooted that I never really knew before. And in every country, when I arrive, usually I tap into a lot of the heavy dark energies because I'm there usually to transmute them. So sometimes when the energy is really heavy and dark and sticky and like so-called dirty, however it is, it's sometimes I don't want to be there because it's too heavy. Here, it's kind of back and forth because the nature has very strong energy that's holding I would say, the frequency of this region here for Gaia. But there's a lot of such heavy fear programming that on the surface level, people seem to be very, like just easygoing and I would say nice is the word. Once again, that is coming, not kind, but nice. Nice in a sense that it's a taught manner or like a sense of modesty. And a lot of the things that I hear is word sorry. Like sorry, but it's like very automatic. It's out of manner. And so that word has no meaning. It's empty. And it's just to conform to the societal norms here. And what I noticed also is a very reactive energy here, that on the surface level, people are smiling, seems friendly, but due to really heavy fear programming, something that they had me notice was at the airport, I had these 2 bags, and then I was carrying them, and I was looking for this specific exit to take the Uber at the airport, and then I went down to the other one, and then there were a lot of people all of a sudden, like a lot of human traffic, and I saw all these people, and I just was moving my bag around. And here is like more like a kind of a Western culture manner. It's like, if you touch someone, it's like sorry, and they're like trying to not touch you, or it's very like it's kind of hard to explain, but something that I also experienced while I was living in London, slightly different from the energy of the London or the European energy in general. It's quite mixed. It's quite mixed, and then it's quite how can I say? There's a lot of masking here in the energy, which is very interesting for me. It's about like these manners. Once again, you have to be mannered. Well mannered is what is coming, and then the kids are very much controlled and restricted and scolded when they're running around or when they're just being themselves. They're not to be themselves. You have to be well-mannered. And that's what they've been taught. That's one thing. And another thing is a lot of these heavy fear-based commercials and teachings, they talk in a very nice manner, once again. on the surface level. So that means the frequency is not to that level of that kindness frequency, but on a surface level it's very nice. But like at the airport too, like on the airplane, if you don't report this, like they are making people to declare something that they're not allowing. And how they phrase was very much based on fear conditioning. So what they were stressing was if you are being honest, you're not going to be punished or penalized, even if they find out that you had this. But if you don't, you're going to have these strong consequences. And they were stating every single little things. And they were inspecting, they say, so-called security checks every point. Even before checking in, you have to open all your suitcases, go through securities several times. And then I was aware of the people's energy around, the frustration, the stress, and that means subconscious fear and anxiety. And these energies are very much prevalent here. I don't know how long it's been going on how long they've been reinforcing this very strongly like this, but that's the energy that I'm tapping into. And people who may be living here or maybe born here all their life may not recognize it because this is just the way it is. But as a stranger or an outsider coming in, because I don't have any experience or assumptions or opinions or preconceived notions, I tend to take on these first impression energies very strongly. Wherever I go to these cultures or different cultures or countries. So it's been very interesting that I encounter this. And okay, the bag situation. So I was in this exit and I was at the ATM machine getting some cash out, and I turned back to move my bag, and there were like a group of people incoming, and then I just moved my bag forward, and all of a sudden this old man who was very smiling and talking cheerfully, and all of a sudden he sensed my bag moving, and I sensed the energy of very much reactive response. And I don't think he is aware of that, but it's more like a learned automatic response from what I observed. And then when I smiled, they smiled back. And that smile was kind of like more like a robotic, automatic smile, because there was no energy coming in that I was feeling that was like sincere. So there's a lot of that energy here for some reason, and I kept feeling that as very heavy here. The lack of sincerity, a lot of masking in the culture, and a lot of conformity, a lot of pressure, a lot of fear control, for people to be in a certain way, act in a certain way, speak in a certain way. And if you don't, you're a misfit. Because from my experience in Korea or in other Asian countries, I'm making sure that my energy is not coming from a place of judgment, because that's not the frequency that I'm intending to share or intending to hold within my frequency. So just from a neutral perspective, from my own observation, I'm noticing these things that Gaia Source and my spirit team had me experience and have attention, because it's part of the message for Gaia and the collective ascension at this time. So I met quite a few people yesterday who were genuinely kind. which felt like, very liberating energetically, because the reciprocity was genuine and I could trust that energy. But other times, it puts you in a very defensive place. And so what I'm going to share with this, so in other countries, in comparison, what I experienced in a lot of the Asian countries, like hitting or like this thing is it's kind of normal. And when that happens, you say sorry and you smile. It's usually very genuine, or they may be like expressionless, but their actions are pretty kind. So, for example, what I experienced was at the inside the airplane. When I first went in, I was going to the bathroom, toilet, and then there was this Australian lady who was trying to pick up something from that cabin. So she was standing, and then she said sorry. And then I said it's okay. And there was enough space that if she moves a little bit, I could just pass by and we could both be like, but that's usually the energy that I was used to in a lot of the Asian cultures, that when that situation happens, two people, they are very much considerate of each other in a genuine sense. They move and then you're trying to also help them or something. It's very mutual. But this time, when I sensed the energy, that was the first time I tapped into the energy that's connected to Australia. Sorry doesn't mean sorry. And then she took a very long time. And she wasn't sorry. And it was just out of a manner. So I had to wait and just standing. But I was just simply noticing these energies. So when she was finished, I just passed. And this kind of similar things where people say sorry but didn't really mean sorry, and how they behaved wasn't in alignment with what they were saying. At a restaurant that I went, on the first day I arrived, when I was about to pay, the card machine wasn't working. And usually when that happens, they say, "Oh, the machine is broken, and so do you have cash?" Or "I'm sorry, you need to pay in cash," or something. It wasn't stated clearly. The guy who was there, it was a Lebanese restaurant. He said, all of a sudden, he just showed the machine and he didn't communicate. And then he said, "Oh, can you just go outside, and there's a turn right, and then there's a machine there, and then you can get the cash out." And the way he described was very interesting for me. And the energy that I sensed was a little bit sly energy. And I waited, and I said, "Could you try again?" And I asked whether it is normal for this to happen. And he's like, "Oh, just today." And he repeated the same thing. Just go out, and then on the right hand corner, just go outside, and there's this machine. And then something like that. He never said the word cash. And there was a lot of like assuming that I had to do by the way he described. And so, "You mean you want me to pay in cash?" And he said, "Yeah, the machine doesn't work." And so I told him that I have cash, but I just prefer to pay in credit card. And that's when he said, "Sorry." And it was really weird. And I wasn't really just the way he was communicating was, the energy that came, the word was the sly. And something like that. So right now, a lot of the energies of these things are playing out. So if you're a starseed, earth angels, if you resonate with my frequency and energies here and the messages here on a sincere, genuine level, and you have done a lot of self-healing work, we are all healing in one way or another, but you know what I mean by that, and you will know what I mean by that, and that you have integrated a lot of your both yin and yang, the shadow and the light. The message that I'm going to share is that you want to stay very discerning of the kind of energies that you want to reciprocate with. And once you understand the value of your energy, the light frequency that you have integrated and hold within yourself, basically you know your worth. And when that happens, you have to be very discerning of who you want to allow your energy to be shared, meaning your energy of kindness, your energy of sincerity, your energy of generosity. A lot of people in the collective, they do not deserve your energy, is what I'm going to share, is a key message that I'm going to share. So we were being taught to please, like here, to be well-mannered, to be nice. And with this religious code programming, showing unconditional love and mercy and forgiveness, and they have totally different meanings and concepts that have been twisted to reset as a programming tools rather than what it really means in essence. So people are very heavily programmed, and if they don't act that way, they're afraid of repercussions, of being punished, going to hell on a subconscious level, or being a bad person that's going to be labeled as a misfit, or someone that's not sort of in the popular stream, or like. People want to be liked, people want to be seen as liked, people want to be seen a certain way, the social standards set. So right now, as a lot of the starseeds, especially the divine feminine risings, we have integrated a lot of our energies to be sovereign, to be authentic, to be truthful, while we keep that energy of peace, harmony, joy inside, and balance, wisdom within. We have to be extra discerning, is what I'm going to share. In a lot of the places we go to, and you want to be reassessing who deserves your energy, who deserves your attention, who deserves your kindness, because not everyone deserves it. And this is where the real discernment comes. That idea of Jesus' teachings and unconditional love, once again, has been very much twisted. So you want to be aware of the energies of the people around, people you hang out with, or people you meet. New people coming in. Very discerning is the energy that I'm going to share. And when these things happen, we could, we are energies. So basically how we perceive each other is just a physical body right now, because this is a physical planet. But the essence is energy. That's why you're doing also aura cleansing, energy protection, right? when you go near someone, or when you're in a very crowded place, you go home, you make sure you want to cleanse your energy, take a shower first, things of that nature, is because everybody's energy vibration is what I'm guided to remind someone or anyone that's going to resonate or need this message at this time. So right now it's time of how can I say, separation in terms of old earth and new earth, or we're in the transition period. So you're just being called to continue to discern so that your energy is aligned with people who genuinely hold the space for you to feel that freedom, for you to feel yourself, to speak your truth, to share your truth. And you don't have to feel defensive. You don't have to feel like you have to strategize, or you don't have to, feel like under the judgment, or that you have to play down on yourself to fit into their energy levels, which is usually the lower vibration. Because when they hold judgment, it's like their standards are in a very judgmental level. And then when someone takes that on, when they're unconscious, they water down, so-called, their energy level to that. But you are to hold high frequency. So meet and allow people who meet your standards. And before that, you have to ensure that your standards are pure, your intentions are pure, your energies are pure, where your self-accountability comes in, self-honesty and integrity comes in. So that's basically the energy, the message that I'm feeling called to share for some reason. So I don't know who this may be for. But I was suddenly called to record this message. So if you're resonating, despite all the noise around, I hope this supports you at this time. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.